Smith, and first off, I just want to say thank you so much to the Chamber for giving us the opportunity to talk to you for a few minutes, and I know Pastor Jorge isn't here this morning, but I love that man, so thank you to him for making this event possible. I want to talk to you a little bit about the wonderful organization that I work for. Conviventia is Doug, could you help me with the slides, please? Yes. Thank you. Conviventia is a nonprofit working in Colombia, my home country, to eradicate the poverty mindset by putting faith into action, empowering people to become agents of change, not only in their own lives, but in their families and their entire community as well. We work from the individual to the collective level towards community development and immediate relief. This means that our approach to development is based on the idea that, or the belief, that the path to sustainable transformation, aka lasting change, of any community begins in the heart and mind of every individual. Next slide, please. Now, we believe this for a pretty obvious reason I think everybody in this room can resonate to. We're Christians, and we know the impact that knowing your identity as a child of God makes in your life and in the way that you approach absolutely everything and everyone. Understanding your inherent worth, the ability to dream, and God as that safety net, and also your responsibilities to yourself and to society and to your family as a child of God. Understanding that is the key to unlocking success for you, especially if you're living in a condition of extreme poverty and you are shackled by that scarcity mindset, by that poverty or victim mindset that perpetuates generational poverty. So everything that we do at Conviventia is to fulfill the divine mandate. We believe that we are the hands and feet and the eyes and ears of God, and that it is our job to share the gospel, but not only in word, we like to do that in deed. So the way that we practically do that in Colombia is through 4 main programs: income generation, humanitarian aid, family and leadership, and education. So we have income generation in the next slide. Oh, you got it. Nice. Okay. So income generation. Of course, like I mentioned, the communities that we work with are facing extreme poverty conditions. And with that, of course, you can imagine that the ways to make your income and to survive are tied to an array of other problems: prostitution, child labor, exploitation. I won't get into it right now because it's a lot, but providing people with the opportunity to make a dignified living for themselves is key to empowering them towards success, right? So that's what income generation is all about. Our vocational training centers in Colombia, in Bogota and Cartagena, offer adults and youth 2 routes that they can take: the employability route, where we help you with your soft skills, networking, we partner you with organizations that will give you a reputable job, or the entrepreneurship route. Like you see here above, you can learn a variety of skills and trades and open up your small business with our support. Next slide, please. Then we have humanitarian aid. So, like I said, our focus at Conviventia is on this long-term commitment to the communities that we work with, but that doesn't take away from the fact that there is a huge need and a very important place for immediate relief or crisis attention in the world, which is what our humanitarian aid program is all about. And I think we could all see how pressing the need for something like this is in the past 2 years with the pandemic. So our humanitarian aid program focuses on all of our medical brigades, which are actually a huge part of our mission trips, where we offer medical, dentistry, optometry, psychology services to people, and of course also supplying basic needs supplies, hygiene, etc., nutrition support, to communities and people that are in situations or places where they don't have access to this. To give you an example, in the past year, we have focused very heavily in La Guajira, which is the communities in Colombia, or the department in Colombia that is at the border with Venezuela. So we've been serving a lot of the indigenous Colombian population and the Venezuelan refugees. Next slide, please. Then we have family and leadership. So like I said before, we look at every individual as part of a greater whole, as part of a system, of a family, of a community. So we want to emphasize working with the entire family unit to strengthen and heal family dynamics. So the rates of intra-family violence in Colombia, especially in these communities, are extremely high. And basically what we do working with these families is teach them what the family is in the Bible, like what God intended for families, for the role of parents and for the role of children, and how to provide, healthy conflict resolution and so many other things, because we want to create safe home environments that promote development, not just for the little ones, but for the adults as well. And the leadership part of this program is all about creating community leaders. So I think part of the divine mandate isn't just to, share the gospel and be this and be that, but the point of doing that is to build up other people so that they may go off and do the same, right? So an important point I want to make is that we don't come into these communities like, hello, I am your hero. Absolutely not. We come here to empower these people to become the agents of change and be those leaders, because they're who their communities need, and God had them be born there and live there for a reason, and it is to be that change. So that's what our community leadership program, training program is all about. And last but not least, we have our education program. I'm sure everyone in this room can agree that a good education can change your life. So under our education program, we have our 4 God is Love schools. They are located in the most vulnerable neighborhoods across 4 cities: Bogota, our capital, Soacha, Barranquilla, and Cartagena. Now, something we get asked a lot is, okay, Val, what makes these schools different though from, public education? I'm sure there's schools there. And the answer isn't just, oh, these are Christian schools. It's our education model, school with a purpose. So that is a holistic education model where we look at not only the academic development of each child, but their emotional, physical, social, psychological, and of course, spiritual development, working not only with them, but with the entire family unit as well. And one point I do want to mention again is the way that all of these programs work interdependently, and that they're all founded upon the values and principles that we find in the Bible, and that is why they work. So before I leave you, I want to pass the mic to a wonderful man who is here from Colombia for this week only, special occasion. He has actually overcome, he's a living testimony to the work that we do, because he was born into extreme poverty in these communities in Colombia, and today he is an outstanding, successful family man who is so grateful to God for what he has done in his life that he now works to make this happen for others. So without further ado, I pass the mic to Jason Delgado.
Okay, good morning. Just like Valentina just said, me being here is a testimony that somebody one day believed that I could, as a child, restore my relationship with God, my Creator, but then my relationship with myself as an individual created in the image of God, my relationship with my neighbors as a member of a community that needs God, and my relationship with creation. And because they believe that in me, that's why I'm basically here. I grew up in Bogota, just like she said, was born and raised in just think about the most vivid depiction of hell. And that's where I grew up. One of these neighborhoods just saturated with violence and crime and I don't want to get into that story, but that's where I grew up. But one day, somebody helped me to restore those 4 relationships: my relationship with God, with myself, with my neighbor, as a member of a community that needs God, and with creation as a steward of the resources and opportunities that He gives us. And I really am very gracious to be, very grateful to be before such gracious audience. Obviously, English is not my first language, so please bear with my mumbling. But so here's, a photo of one of the communities where one of the schools of Convivencia is, and on the way here to Houston from Bogota, there's an American person that lives in Bogota sitting next to me. And he started asking questions about what we do and where are you going and are you traveling legally to the United States? And then I'm telling him all about the organization. And he says, how can you see anything positive come out of the lives of these children that have no opportunity? How can you see anything positive come out of the lives of those children? And that question it resonates with me because that's the way that a lot of people see these children, right? They don't see their potential, and there's a lot of potential in those communities. And then to me, when I look at each child, just like somebody one day looked at me, I see an agent of transformation, and I see an agent of a multiplier of wealth, emotionally, spiritually, socially, and even economically. That's what I see when I look at these kids. And there's a bridge between what we see and what these children can actually become. And that bridge, just like this, is the teachers. And I want to tell you a little bit about the teachers. In Cartagena, that's up in the north of Colombia, we had this year, in the midst of all this hardship, we were able to secure education for 350 students, 350 children. We expected more, but most of their families had to just flee, move away to the villages because there's no opportunity in Cartagena. And we got 26 students graduate. This coming week we have a graduation ceremony. 26 students from high school, and that's 100% of the class. All of them graduated, and it's incredible. It's unprecedented because some years ago their parents just wanted their kids to just drop out of school completely, as young as early as in 8th or 9th grade, because they wanted their kids to go out and find any informal labor to help the family survive. So having all of these kids graduate is just amazing. So and that's only possible because there's a bridge, and that's the teachers. This Tuesday we had this beautiful event, a fundraiser here that I came here to help support, and we were able to raise. We had some very generous donors, and we're only shy about $8,000 for to finish the year strong. And we had this generous donor pledge to match every dollar that we raise during this week to help pay the salaries of these teachers. And I know that you don't know me, but I'm here today to change that. I'm so grateful that you had me here, and I'm going to be sitting at the table. If you want to approach me or Valentina or our executive director of Convivencia, who are here based in Houston and in the U.S., please feel free and approach us, and we can tell you everything about the teachers and the work that we do. Of course, because time is of the essence, there's a QR code on your table. If you want to scan that, it would be great. And there's a mailing list, yeah. So thank you very much. Time is of the essence. I'm sorry if I just ran longer, but appreciate your time, and thank you very much. Thank you.